call yourself a Facebook addict?
I wouldn't say, okay, describe addict.
I text a lot.
I have to clear my inbox like every day, and on average I send about 10 to 20 texts a day, but that can jump to like
Around 200.
100, 300,
500.
maybe.
Pretty much every day, Facebook at like 11 p.m. at midnight.
Right as I get home after school, so then I'm normally on it 2 or 3 hours a day.
Every day sort of instinctively, like just multitasking.
You have your homework in one tab. Oh, what's that? Somebody just liked my status? Oh no.
I do use Facebook a lot.
Yeah, I use Facebook a lot.
You know, I wasn't finished.
I need a way to connect with people, and I have no idea how to get a hold of people without a cell phone.
If I didn't have Facebook, then I was like, I'd lose all my friends.
Sorry, I was just finishing up a text message. Very important, by the way. I have a big confession to make. I love gadgets. No surprise. The teenage generation loves gadgets quite a lot. And the way I, like many people, wake up in the morning consists of checking messages from 6 o'clock in the morning until the bell rings, the first bell rings. Then I turn off the device. And then when school ends, I turn on the device, and vice versa. And then sporadically throughout the day, I'm checking and constantly checking and just seeing what's there, keeping up with business, with news, Apple rumors, and other stuff. But I had this epiphany. In the end, what does all of this mean if I'm constantly refreshing and wanting to know more and keep updated in the rest of the world? I'm really losing time. And time is ticking away. So although I use social media for good purposes, like I mentioned, about using Apple and about, just getting updates, still, gadgets are my safety, and I'm constantly attached to the phone. And the phone is our all-in-one device. And yes, thanks to the smartphone, thanks to all of these devices, it builds a phone, camera, all of these different functions into one. It's hard to remember the days when phones were just phones and cameras were just cameras for taking photos. Now it's all combined into one device. It's so easy. And to resolve this, I would set Do Not Disturb on the iPhone just to have special hours where I wouldn't use it. And I would respect that, and it would be 7 to 8 hours, and that was about it. But I needed more than that. And so I kept wasting time, and all it gave me was an instant gratification. And sure, I was satisfied temporarily just knowing, okay, I've responded to everything, I'm at inbox 0, and I've cleared out everything that would be in my inbox. It still didn't fulfill me. And I was wasting time. I would lose patience by just refreshing. And if it was subpar technology, I didn't want to wait for that. I wouldn't want to wait for videos to load, for web pages, and other information because I expected it now and 24/7. To understand this, it's really important that we pay attention to how humans have evolved as a culture. So you have your evolution of a human, and you go from Homo erectus all the way to Homo sapien. And Homo sapien is the now, that's the modern day human, and clearly Homo sapien is hunched over his computer, like all teens are nowadays, because we're so focused on screen time, and we're hunched over those devices, whether it's in a circle, whether in a crowd, or with a lot of people. The same thing has happened with technology. There are the brick phones. Those phones used to weigh 20 pounds. Imagine that you had to just carry around a phone. That didn't even have a camera, so imagine you had to have each device with you. And all the way to now, the iPhone, the all-in-one smartphone that has combined everything. And we expect these things 24/7 hours a day. And we don't have the patience, and these tech companies need to continue innovating for us to stay interested in them, and for us to like them and be active patrons. It's hard to resist that urge to just take out the phone and check more. Really hard. And our expectations change, and even babies nowadays are wired. So you go from the cute baby with his book to now babies with technology. And if you give a mouse a cookie, they're going to eat the cookie. If you give a baby an iPad or a device, they intuitively know what to do with it. There are all kinds of videos on YouTube showing little kids who are able to swipe and touch that easy. They love that, and we're all wired in many different ways. This was a photo I took, and we were trying to show how digital people are actually disconnecting in real life. Technology also makes it difficult to stay different. As you can see in this photo of a lot of Macs, this was at the University of Missouri. What they did here was all of these were Macs, and they're conforming to the culture because society has these standards, and Macs were cool, and they still are cool. And so students fit into this norm, and they want to be a part of something, hence all of those Macs. If you look at this group of people, you'll see how they're all texting, they're really active on their phones, and they're just trying to keep updated. Same here. You look at this, a couple. Now I feel really bad for this couple because the two of them are missing out on the importance of communication. One is reading her book, and then she's doing texting. The other is also texting. What's happening with this evolution of communication? We're trying to stay more connected on our devices, but in truth, we're actually less connected in real life. And that's really unfortunate. When you're texting, or if you have social network posts, in those posts, you cannot judge character from it. You're not able to know someone's inflection of voice, intonation, and get their tone, how fast they're talking. All you know from texts or words is just emoticons, which might be a colon and a parenthesis. You might know that. You might know that they're using capital letters, or run-on sentences might mean that they're ranting, but that's it. You really can't judge enough from it. And that's really unfortunate because we can't understand the emotions. So we struggle as we keep on texting to understand what to do when we look up. We're so used to having the LOL and those little text lingos. And even think of autocorrect too. Autocorrect is silly. There's all kinds of funny typos. That's the one thing where our human side shows through. This was a graphic of all kinds of emoticons. And this guy just had some time on his hands, and he decided to act out each emoticon. I think it's really funny, but even if you just look at that photo, we're not able to judge his character right from that. And we still, as a society, grow lazier as we rely on technology to do all the work for us. Hence autocorrect and all of these different features on phones, we expect it to do it for us. We can talk to our phone, and the phone will write it out for us. But it causes more mistakes, and we're not able to communicate effectively that way. Here's this comment. The guy asks, dude, what's the purpose of life? Good question, by the way. And this other guy really has no clue. He doesn't know because he's so used to technology being able to provide those answers, that instant gratification of what he wants to know, and Google will provide that. That's the basis for it. So phones used to be just phones, and Google used to be just Google, but now they've spread out to so many features. And surprisingly, people still get excited about winning virtually meaningless, in my humble opinion, virtually meaningless stickers for watching TV shows, or getting to the next level of Angry Birds or Candy Crush. But all of those things do not mean anything in real life, in society. It's just more instant gratification, and we feel happy from those messages and from achieving new stuff virtually. Also, when Facebook and Twitter go down, we'll see that fail whale on Twitter. When we see that, it actually forces us to go outside, which is the one time that people are able to get out and into the rest of the world. But even so, their servers are only down for a matter of minutes or hours at a time. But it's sad that that has to force us to go outside because there's not much else to do in that case. Another point would be vacations. And vacations appear worthless nowadays because families will go on vacations just as they would with dates, and they end up texting and doing all of the stuff that they would be doing at home. All of those activities, they can't stop with it. And if you just had a camera, you would just be taking pictures. But with that camera, we're capturing the past. We're so focused on the present and the now, but not enough about the past and how much time we're losing actually doing all of this. And then the future and how all of this impacts our reputation and who we are as people. Personally, myself, I was really focused as an entrepreneur, making an online brand for myself and being aware and letting other people know what I do as a person. But then I thought, really, what is my offline brand? How do I act in person? And I needed to focus more on that and shift how I'm doing it. So there's even a hospital treatment for internet addiction recovery. That's how severe this is. And people are doing it. It's in Pennsylvania, and a lot of people are signing up for that class. And to make a point, Facebook is actually a source of depression. There's what's known as fear of missing out, FOMO for text lingo, where people just check online, and when you scroll through, you see pictures of vacations, you see pictures of other people having fun. And then, out of not totally jealousy, but intimidacy, we kind of feel that we're missing out on those. And then we want to shift the attention back to us. And that's why teens and celebrities, Miley Cyrus too, we're all demanding attention, and we crave to have those. And it's another thing where teens were called narcissistic. And that's unfortunate, but we as teens, as a nation, need to change that. And we're able to by shifting more screen time versus FaceTime. And we need to make a better balance of those. Why do other people care about what we're posting online? It's a good question that you should always ask yourself. We as people are always attached to our devices. And in the end, what that's really doing is isolating ourselves from society. You can see this guy, he's in a big city, very busy city. And we're just isolating ourselves because we're so, again, focused on the present and the now, and not enough on what's happening around us and in real life, IRL for text lingo. Teens keep on YOLOing. I'm making that a verb now. You only live once. And they're so focused on, just impressing their friends and their community, but rather we're not thinking about the impact that all of that has. And looking back, are we going to be happy thinking that, oh, I spent my teenage years on a computer? Again, that's really sad, and we need to focus more on the in-person and togetherness. My suggestion would be that we use technology in moderation, because we definitely should. And also, take a challenge. Do a digital detoxification, and try to take 2 days, a day, see how long you can last without accessing your digital life. And you'll probably discover some great benefits to that. And also strike a good balance between your screen time and also your FaceTime. Thank you, and unplug. Thank you.